blast the contrast, cause it's the Illegal Opinions Podcast.
What's up, y'all? I know what I'm talking about. Welcome to Legal Opinion Podcast. 151.
Oh, yeah. Straight
I've
from
been
the A.
I've been down in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? You feel me?
I see you got your Outcast going. That's fire.
Listen
For
with
those-
open mind, or Lee Mad,
yeah.
choice of y'all.
You put your hands up there.
I'm your comedian host, Sam Real in Building. This my homeboy, Michael Palmer. You feel me?
Now, hold on. It's okay
Yo.
to joke. Don't
Right.
be disrespectful, though.
All right, I'm gonna be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? I had fun in Georgia, but I learned a lot. Namely, guess check
Look at you
this
keep
shit.
touching it. You keep touching your hair like them
Hey.
bras do. That shit don't
Hey.
belong to you, nigga.
Now they do this
hit-
shit when they be
hit it with your
itching.
hand. It should
You
be
know what I'm saying?
itching. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they be done. They be hitting themselves in the head all day. They be giving themselves little teeny concussions and shit. But check this shit out, dog. I gotta take this off. You ain't gonna be here for a second. But look, see the band on this shit?
Yeah.
Watch this shit.
Whoop. The whole shit come off.
The whole band, dog. We've been getting hatfish. They be talking about dudes with hats.
Word.
Hatfishing people, right?
How does the headband come off with the wig?
Dog.
Y'all don't even want to put y'all don't even want to put it on?
Bruh. I used to think it was like fake and all of that we would, you see dudes with the like drawn on beard and shit. Fuck that. We can do all that shit, bruh. All of it. If they can
That
get
shit
away with
comes as a fucking ensemble. The headband don't even belong to you. The headband belong to the wig. So now you're wearing two things that don't belong to you, and at least the wig owns something. The headband.
the wig got more going for it than your ass. Ain't that
That's
a bitch?
crazy.
That's crazy, dog. Like I really was like, oh, this is one piece.
I didn't know that.
You know what it made me think of too? Like, how we be like, man, damn, she got dolled up for a player. The makeup, maybe. But we be thinking that they done spent, she was in the salon for me, homeboy. Yeah.
Bruh.
That's why they don't want us to pull on it right there. Because
the whole shit come off. The eyebrows come off.
I bet there's one that it's like the headband, the eyebrows is like attached to it with some invisible strings and shit. And like you do this.
Remember those goddamn spy kits we used to get as a kid with the glasses and a mustache attached to the glasses? That's all it is.
It just made you look like a creep. They made a whole generation of perverts. Hey, y'all, we back. Episode 151. We ain't went no damn where and we good, okay?
Yeah.
There's been a lot going on and we gonna get to that. But let's get to the other worldly sad news before we get to it, man. Harry Belafonte.
Mm-hmm.
I could say less. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's Harry Belafonte. This is one note that when I saw it, I couldn't really be sad. He lived a full life. It was like, damn, he gone, of course, but he lived a full life. His career, there's no need in us even reiterating here. You know what I'm saying? Like, he the man, and he kind of died the man.
I mean, he was 94 years old. The first. I'm not sure if he was the first person or the first black person to get the EGOT, right? Whatever the fuck that the
Tony
Emmy,
Award,
the
the
Golden
Oscar,
Globe, Oscar. So like that's dope.
Source Award, yeah.
So he was either the first black person, or the first person. Don't matter. He was one of the first to do that shit. That's dope. I don't think Sam and I could really speak enough to it because that ain't our generation. Like that's shit. That's the generation before our generation.
Yeah.
Before our generation. So, like. But much respect, bless up, full life. I mean,
that speaks to something. That speaks to a lot because technically we shouldn't know him. You know what I'm saying? For your legacy to be from my grandparents was like, oh, Harry Belafonte, a bad motherfucker, and I know that. Like, yeah, you've been a bad motherfucker a long time. So
no, that's dope life lived, fully lived. That's amazing. The next one we get to is a little closer to home, probably for both of us, is Lance Ruskin. He passed away. This was a couple of weeks ago. He's been away. We're trying to catch up on the things that are, important. And Lance Ruskin was that motherfucker, man. Like that. Like I didn't even know. And if you don't know who Lance Ruskin is, he was one of the lead detectives on The Wire. He's the what do you want to call him on the John Wick shit?
Wasn't
clerk,
he
the manager of the hotel?
Yeah.
He was the manager of the hotel. Thin, very serious looking black dude, right? But my favorite role from Lance Ruskin is from fucking Toys R Me. If you have not seen Toys R Me on YouTube, go watch that shit. It is fucking hilarious. He's a manager at a toy store. And of course, in all his roles, he's very serious. So imagine him being the manager at a toy store where fucking teenagers are working and shit. It's great. Check it out. But rest in peace to Lance Ruskin.
Reddick.
You say, oh,
yeah. You've been saying his last name wrong.
You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I've been saying that. Because I was reading the article, and I'm sorry, Lance Reddick.
I was like, wait a minute, he can't fuck this up the whole time.
I was reading an article about that movie, The Temptations.
Yeah.
And who was the main guy?
In The Temptations? The dude that's in fucking the 5 Heartbeats and shit. Yeah. Anytime they need somebody to sing, that's who they get. But I know you're talking about.
So I was right before we started doing this shit. I was reading an article about the Temptations and he was doing an interview in it. And hell, this could be wrong too, nigga. David wrong.
David Ruffin.
David Ruffin. So he was doing an interview and he was saying that the famous line of what's the favorite line from that?
What, like that you ain't nobody come to see you, Otis, or whatever?
Yes.
That shit?
He was talking about that shit. And he said that was ad-libbed.
Wow.
That shit was not in the script.
That's wild.
And that's one of the main things people remember from The Temptations is that line.
That's all I remember. That's like the ultimate telling anybody, ain't nobody come to see your ass, so you need to calm down. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Right? So I keep saying Temptations and 5. They're the same movie to me.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
I was reading that shit right before we started recording because he was saying how it followed him around the world. Like he's known because of that.
Yeah, because he was like he got sunned after that. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I remember him from? There's my favorite roles besides his John Wick role. And if you haven't seen 4, it's almost eerie. His last scene. That's all I'm gonna say. But he did this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was
John
just
Wick
like
4.
John Wick 4. Yes, but my favorite shit he ever did was the commercials for 3 Insurance. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, go look them shits up. It's him sitting down or standing up, and they got him kind of in a Spike Lee-esque type of thing where he's moving sideways across the screen, and he's just talking while a bunch of shit is happening around him. And nobody can deadpan effectively like that. And he did like 6 of them, and they're all like perfect commercials. I had never heard of 3 Insurance. I was like, I might get these motherfuckers my shit.
Maybe.
You know? But yeah. Rest in peace,
of course,
man.
Yes, rest in peace, and welcome back to Illegal Opinions, where I am still fucking up names. So
yeah, ain't nothing changed, but you know, nothing's still changed. Shit.
Nothing's changed.
And then we got another passing on to talk about, and this is not going to be a sad conversation because he wouldn't even want it that way. But my Air Force brother Glenn passed away. I've been down in Georgia. That's one of the reasons that we haven't been recording. And to anybody that's been watching the pod and wondering, like, Sam seemed down and stuff, I've been very vocal about my mental health stuff, but I've been dealing with that as well. My friend has been very sick for the better part of a year. And I met him in MEPS. I know what MEPS is, for those that don't know military shit. The place you go to before you go in the military. They go and do all your vitals and see how much you can lift. They want to see where to put the slaves. So, no, I'm just playing. So me and him met there at the hotel, and we met by him cock blocking me. I'll never forget this shit. True story. His motherfucker was like, nah, you don't want that one. She was ugly, but I was going to basic, whatever. And then we end up being roommates come time to be in tech school together. And we was both from VA. So we became very tight, and he marries my best female friend in the world. So it was a lot to deal with this last 3 weeks. That's where I've been. But he died on April Fool's Day with a smirk on his face. And it's funny the conversations you have as military people. You talk about death a lot.
Yeah.
and you don't fucking realize it. Like, it's just some common, regularly drinking and shit. Long time ago, he gonna say some, you should try this comedy thing. You funny as fuck. This was like, I don't know, 2003. I was like, man, I ain't never doing that shit. But he always talk about it. And he also would say 3 things. He wasn't gonna pass in front of any of us. Right? He didn't want nobody to be sad. And he wanted me to do the comedy thing at his funeral. I was like, I can't do that. I'll tell you what, though. I'll do it if you open up the show at the funeral. And he was like, how am I open up the show and be dead? I was like, ha, nigga. And then his fool died on April Fool's Day with a smirk on his face.
Yeah.
It's going to be smoke at the gate. I'm fighting him on sight because I felt like you set me up, dog. I really did. Like,
I mean, that is one of those. It's just one of those things that it's good to it's one of those things that you can reflect somebody's personality into the day that they passed away. Like you could say, like, this silly ass, okay, like you knew what you was doing. You held on long enough, nigga. You could have died in March, but no,
any day.
You waited until April Fool's Day,
dog. I was like,
make it like a riddle and shit. Like,
all I could do was go, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like one of them, and that's the type of shit he would do in a room, is just do something to make somebody, you know, break that monotony. So a couple of things happened out there. I got new kids. That Godfather duty jumps in quick. And it was very interesting. Yeah. It's very interesting because it's one of those places, or I won't say places, I'll say positions. The Godfather thing. If somebody goes, hey, I want you to be the Godfather of my kid, that you be like, all right, man, shit, cool. You good, right? Like, your cholesterol straight? You know, you know.
Cholesterol.
I mean, you know, you don't think that it'll ever be a day where you and, you know, whoever it is, your brother, your sister, like, they're going to be there.
Yeah.
So to go down there was, you know, so threefold. It was, you know, my best friend is mourning. I'm mourning. And then I have a new daughter, so to speak, that is mourning, you know, and girls hit different. God did me a solid and didn't give me no girls right away. It's just, I don't know. They were doing a lot of shit that would probably aggravate me from boys. You know how, like, certain shit, like, you'd be like, man, what the fuck you doing? You know, but girls is just doing their cute shit, and you just be like, oh. It's just a different animal, man. Sure. So it was just a lot of shit going on down there with that. I know you met him, too. We're not going to say how y'all met up here. That's our business. But, yeah. When I say, something weird happens when people pass, where you start to, I don't know, everybody seems to kind of just show their motivations. And you find out how people react in certain situations. And this is not a conversation about how people grieve. It's more of how people react to the void of a person that was probably there as a buffer to these other people. You know, I don't know if you ever dealt with, like, a family member passing and then it was just like, why is all this shit coming out, like, right now? Type of thing that happens. But it's abnormal. And I don't think that it happens enough to people for them to be able to navigate it or for anybody to try and figure it out.
I think when that happens, there's a lot more emotional conversation, because most of the conversations that you have with people are how you doing, type of surface shit, et cetera, et cetera. Like, nothing's really too deep. Not saying you don't have deep conversations with people, but most things are kind of like, you know, hope everything is going okay. How you doing? I'm great. Oh, how are you doing? I'm great too. And yada, yada, yada. Everybody's great.
Yeah.
But once someone loses somebody that's important to them and they want to have, you know, more emotional or, you know, whatever you want to call it, conversations, the water gets a little deeper. And since you're not having these conversations with these people normally, it's like, wait, hold up. Like, what's going on? Are you good? Are you not good? Because I'm looking at this and you're acting in a way, could be acting in a way that's abnormal, because these aren't normal conversations.
And not normal circumstances. Right.
And not normal circumstances. So now everyone is kind of like trying to figure out, it's like, you know, both of these people are talking while standing on fucking beach balls and shit. And one of them is fucking emotional about what's happening in their life, and probably still trying to find the words to say how they feel, because especially when you do something like death that happens so abruptly, people are talking and nobody's really dealt with their feelings yet, or had the time to sit down and deal with how they feel. So, but you don't want to feel alone, and you don't want to not talk to anybody, because you do want to fucking still keep connections with people, because you just lost a fucking connection. So you're trying to, have a voice, and somebody else is trying to be the ears, but the conversation you're having is, like you just said, an abnormal situation that we don't usually operate in this space.
Right.
And I think that happens a lot. Like, man, especially, I don't know about white people. I'm not a white dude, but I know about black people. And I know when so-and-so die, sometimes black folks get goddamn
stupid.
Who's going to get the house? Who's going to get auntie so-and-so pictures?
There's always
who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? We grieve horribly. I've never seen a video of white people or Asian people or Mexican people or, whatever the fuck, falling onto the casket. What? Jesus?
Yeah. I think that comes from that
emotional about death, and I don't know why.
It comes from that. I think it comes from that, like, we're expected. All right, this is gonna sound fucked up. I feel like 70% of like black family like living is like judgment, kind of. Sometimes it's like, well, you didn't even act. You ain't even care. Like shit like that. And I remember when I was younger, it was like, am I supposed to act a certain way at this funeral? Like an expectation. There really is none, I learned something with this one, and it's kind of creepy the way I learned it, because you shouldn't notice these things. And I got to give much credit to my niece Charlene. I got to meet her too. She's just an amazing person with insight out of this world. You have no idea. But and I'm not asking you this question. I want the listeners to think about this shit. How much stuff verbally do you not say to somebody because somebody else is alive still? Now, if you can't really think about that, like, real fast, take it this way. Like, let's make it simple. You ever had beef? And be like, you lucky, Brian told me not to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Very simple. Very simple. It made me think about, like, when my grandparents passed, there were family members that became at odds. And it was like, oh, grandma was putting a wall there to keep y'all from going at it. And now that she's gone, a decision has to get made. Are we going to have an adult conversation about it? Or are we going to hold on to whatever grief this has caused and make it drive a wedge between us? And adults don't talk. That was what my niece, she's 18 and brilliant. She was like, I noticed while we've been sitting around this house, it's very hard for people to express themselves from A to B. They need either a buffer or an anecdote or something. Like we talk about, you got to put some sugar in it.
Yeah.
But when times are like this, nobody has any sugar. Nobody has that. But so all you have is you, and it's time to just man up and talk. So I felt like what tends to happen, and I thought about that situation in this one, is when those grands passed and cousins or whatever, I had conversations with certain cousins that like bonded us forever.
Yeah.
And then there was other ones that I was like, damn, I just learned a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And this was no different. It makes people show their hand.
I think it does. I've had. I don't want to say it because I don't want to, dismiss what you're saying or dilute it. That was the word I was looking for. I'm not trying to dilute what you're saying, but I've gone and also families are different. People are different. So I've gone to funerals of people in my family, and it's like, oh, hey, cuz, what, it's good seeing you, blah blah blah. Oh, where you at? Oh, damn, we gotta come out there and fuck with you, man, like, because you cool and we ain't seen each other so long, yada yada yada. Let's exchange numbers, because everyone's so emotional at that point, and death is around, and people are like, yo, man, we gotta be better with each other, man, we gotta fucking do X, Y, and Z.
And yeah.
And then a month go by,
That's the
and you
tell.
might talk that month. Y'all might talk for 2 and 3 months. Shit, nigga, fuck it. I got a brother, older brother. I don't know how. He might be 55, right? So I don't expect, and he has a different father, right? So I don't expect us to be, fucking bosom buddies and shit and know everything about each other.
Mm-hmm.
The age gap from when he was fucking 9 or 10 or 12 or 14 or whatever the fuck is too big for him and me to connect when I'm young. He's a teenager. But now that we're both older, I thought like, yo, man, like maybe me and him could connect. We met at my aunt's house during Thanksgiving, kicking it, everything's cool. Hey man, like let me get your number, man, because I have a nephew. I ain't never seen this little nigga before.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, it's your little nephew, man. This is so and so. Okay, cool. All right, dope. How you doing, little man? Like, oh, you into football? Oh, you like doing this? Oh, I'm gonna get your dad information, my brother, his information. I'm gonna come to some of your football games, man. I'm gonna come support you and shit like that. Yada yada yada. Me and my brother talked. Oldest brother, so I got 2 older brothers. Me and my oldest brother talked maybe once every 2 weeks for maybe a month and a half. And that was me reaching out to him, trying to build a relationship. That was in 2014. I ain't talked to that nigga since then.
But
because what I said was, let's see if this nigga reached back out to me.
Right. No, but see, the audition happened. Yeah. So, like, I ain't even mad at that. Like, you go to the funeral, you get all these numbers, and it's the same as any friendship, honestly. Like, people that I've never been a thing that we family, so you can treat me bad. Like, fuck that.
Right.
So, if, we exchange numbers, cool. Let's see if we vibe.
Yeah.
You might find out your cousin's stupid as hell and be like, you know what? That's a weird nigga there. I see why we wouldn't have hung. I mean, you never know. So the audition happened. You tried, and it didn't work. We still family, and you move. So But
I think that is like I think it's always because my grandfather was a Rolling Stone. No shit. This nigga probably had like 4+ wives.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So I was always like, oh, you're my uncle. You're Puerto Rican? The fuck? Oh, you're my cousin. You're Dominican? So I've always been excited about meeting new people. So I like the fact that you got the chance to re-meet people in a different situation where you're older now.
Right. Yeah, that's
and you
exactly
can be
what
a mentor to people. You can be a mentor. You can be just an ear, a shoulder, or a fucking, I don't know, a fucking knee, nigga. Like whatever. You could be something to these people that are your family. And y'all found, unfortunately, it came at a cost of, losing Glenn. And now you just want to take some time out. And I don't know why you're doing it. I'm just assuming you want to take some time out, and go back and touch base with the home team and fuck with your family. And now you're like, I'm in a different space now that there are times where I wanted to be someplace and do something, but there was something holding me back from that. Because I was younger. I couldn't just pull up on y'all.
Right. And that's what I found out when I went home.
Yeah.
My cousin back home that I'm staying with when I go back to VA, he's one of my older cousins. Mm-hmm. And he's on my father's side. But when I say older cousin, I used to go out there, and they from not the rap hood, like Huntersville in Norfolk, like where the Clips were selling. Yeah. And when we would go visit, it never occurred to me that I never got fucked with out there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like little shit like that. Now we talking as adults, and I'm finding out all of these things. But we just now had our first adult conversation on the struggle tour. Because they'd never seen anything but Little Sam. They still call me Little Sam. I'm like, I'm 41, goddamn. But you're always gonna be Little Sam, Once you hit that thing where it switches, and now I can talk to all of y'all as adults, and we don't have to just go off of what we heard from our parents when we was little. The conversation changes.
Yeah. And you can also, now you had more life experience. So now it doesn't have to be, hey, you want to walk down the street and talk about fucking nothing? Like, no, we just talking.
That's exactly how that shit go.
You seen the new Turtles? No,
Let's
I
go
didn't
be-
watch Turtles last
We'll be
weekend.
bored
man.
together down the street. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, so throwing rocks at fucking pieces of wood in the, like, but now you can have real conversations, and sometimes that might be what's best. Like, I've had relationships with people in my family when we were younger. Shit didn't work out. We wasn't cool because we young. We both got different home situations. We both live in different places. We only see each other during the holidays.
Right.
And the last time we saw each other, I beat your ass in the backyard, nigga. So now next time you see me, you still carrying that. But once you get older and you given time to, mature and shit. Now you could talk about different shit. Now you could talk about life. You could talk about your kids. You can talk about your investment or whatever the fuck you doing. And you could bounce ideas off each other and just have a conversation that doesn't revolve around, fucking teenage angst and blame and whatever else. So I think that's dope. I think
it's a beautiful thing. I'm gonna circle back to the Godfather thing because I think this is what it is. Like, we all end up, most people, you have your kids like, 20 to 28 ish, let's say, as a range. You pick somebody to be a godfather, a godmother, and they're not ready yet. They don't even know what that really means, probably. Yeah. I think about that with Glenn when he asked me to be Ree's godfather. And I was like, all right, bet. Mm-hmm. She knew of me like the entire time. She's a grown up now. But I wouldn't have been ready. Like you said, I wouldn't have been able to have a meaningful conversation with her. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I jumped in there and I can help. I can have that conversation about things I've invested in and ways to move jobs and stuff, just like you said. So that's a great point when you finally reconnect as an older person. Yeah. I mean, I tried to do that with my niece from my second oldest brother. And he had a situation and I was trying to be the uncle and be in her life. Because I've been in the military, I was always away from Pensacola. Like, I was always gone. And I saw her when I saw her as a baby, and then maybe again when she might have been like 4 or 5 or some shit. But otherwise, I didn't really see her because she was always with her mom and not with my brother. So there was a disconnect there, multiple disconnects. Yeah, I was gonna say it creates at least a couple. Shit. Yeah. So when he goes away, I'm like, all right, cool. Let me be like a father figure to her. She wasn't ready for that. She was still in young girl mode when she just kind of like, don't give me no gifts, give me some money. Right. And that went on for probably 6 months until I was like, all right, the conversations I'm trying to have with you, I'm trying to save your life. Right. Not finance you, like just like that. You're running in these circles in this city, and I know where those circles lead. Young pregnancies, drugs, all kinds of peer pressure to do all kinds of dumb shit. I'm trying to save your life. And then one day she was like, hey, you know what? I'm trying to buy a motorcycle. I want you to co-sign. You down or you not? Damn. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, like, look, bro. Like, when I tell you down or you not? Yeah. Like, when I tell you my family in Pensacola is like that, I'm not joking. So not everybody, but there's say that, please, right? Yeah. No, but yes, and I cut her off. I'm like, because I'm not on that. Like, I'm trying to help you get into. You don't want to go to college? Okay, cool. What do you want to do? No, you can't. You can't just work at Whataburger. What do you want to do with your life? How can I help you get into the Air Force, the Navy, the Army? Let me help you get out of this space so you can see something different. Yeah. She didn't want that. She just wanted bread. And so, that's such a wise statement. I let that lay where it still lies. Damn. Wow. I mean, I'm thinking about getting. Please tell me you didn't get that in a text message. Yeah. You down or you? Okay. Yeah, that would be a simple and plain for me. It's funny. That's funny. it's when I thought about the money situation, I was like, only one of them didn't ask me for money, and it was neither one of them. Yeah. You good, Aiden? I got you. If I got it, you got it. Glenn, this is speaking to.
Sam said that.
Oh yeah, Marcus didn't say that. Marcus didn't say that.
My money is my money, Aiden.
Nah, but that was another, like, Glenn just speaking to, like, the magnitude of a person he is. That's another one. It's not as biological, but he took care of the boy. So I'm like, this is just the type of dude he was. It went up live. We had a ceremony, but it wasn't a traditional funeral. For those of you that saw, he wanted to be cremated. We had the joke running that won't nothing in there but a dick, because that's the only thing that didn't burn.
Why?
Me and his daddy was just wilding because he always talked about how big it was.
Oh God!
He got his sense of humor from his daddy. Trust me. It's
all
the
whole time, or
it's just curled up in the jar. I don't know, but it was a beautiful ceremony, and we learned a lot going down there. I hope that it makes a better pod for us, even because I went down there and saw Marcus, and I felt like I needed that clarity from going down there.
I was like, you talking about me?
You nigga,
fucking forgot, dog. I didn't forget that you were here, but when you said Marcus, I'm like, well, who does he know that's named Marcus? I know this name Marcus. I was in Atlanta. Yes.
Nah, I came down there to holler at Marcus real quick. He got my mind right. It was a good night.
I had to work in the morning too, man. That shit was rough.
Oh, dog, you rode for your boy. I salute my guy.
I mean, always. I mean, work is what it is, but when it comes to, to make the trip from Atlanta to South Florida, I'm gonna put up, and I would do that for anybody that I fuck with, not you, Aiden. Oh shit! I'm just joking, but anybody that made that trip, because when Lisa hit me, we talked back and forth, and she was like, yeah, it's gonna be however long to get there, and I'm like, damn, y'all finna pull out. Like, here's the one thing that I wish she would have said, because she hit me on I believe it was like a Sunday, saying, hey, like sometime between Tuesday and Thursday we're gonna come down. And
Lisa's my manager, y'all, for those who don't know. Yeah.
Lisa is so I'm like, all right, cool. And then I didn't hear nothing else from Lisa,
right, until
3 days later? Hey, we outside. Huh?
No, it wasn't that damn fast.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
We outside?
Yes.
Okay.
Dog, bro.
I was, and just so for everybody listening, I didn't know what they were talking about. This is probably the most out of it I've ever fucking been. And I say that knowing I had a whole panic attack last year. Mm-hmm. So she hit you up, right? I'm not even gonna get into the series of events that got us to Georgia, but when I say like somebody was looking out for our asses to get us there in the manner we did, as quickly as we did, and with funds, somebody was looking out from up above.
Yeah.
And the getting across the country was the one part. After I got there, I know I had my meltdown about the situation, like real bad. Like the only way this part works is me being transparent with y'all. I was outside behind my car, pile of tears. Like they had to get me up, call people trying to talk to me.
Yeah.
And then everything else, meeting new kids and family and the old issues, and you got to pick up the pieces from the person that's gone.
Sure.
I don't know what you and her talked about. So,
well, no, I mean, it's a very. She was saying something that sounds like, it would be good if y'all saw each other. I feel like he needs a friendly face. He wants to call you, but he can't because he's going through his thing, and that was really it. And I'm like, yo, of course. Like,
she didn't explain that. She didn't explain that.
No, it's cool. I was like, yo, pull up. Like, it's nothing.
Yeah, it was. Do you remember? You talked on the phone.
I was not home when y'all came here.
I remember. We talked on the phone once when I was on my way out there.
Yeah.
We were at a Love's truck stop with a Chester's attached to it. That's how I know it done turned into a core memory. But
Chester's.
I was listening to you, and me and Glenn, like, we've known each other, longer than I've known you. Mm-hmm. But me and him kind of had a falling out at one point over just, our different versions of what a friend was until we figured it out in our youth.
Right.
He's gone. So when you called me, I'm listening to another Air Force brother of mine that I can't lose. There's too many to name, but I'm thinking Charles, Lowe, my brothers,
Yeah.
And hearing y'all's voices was highly triggering to me. Y'all are people I speak to every single day of my life. So when I got on the phone with you and we started talking about it, I think you heard me breathe real deep one time. And you knew enough to be like, you know what? We should probably get off the phone. And then the 2 hours after that was another rough 2 hours. And I was like, I stopped listening to the messages from y'all. The night I had that breakdown, I got on Call of Duty with Reese, that my homeboy, and another friend of mine. And then afterwards, we got off and was just talking about that military aspect of everything, and I broke. There's nothing easy about anything I've been doing. And I couldn't do this again until I saw Marcus in person. And I can't really explain that to anybody. It was just, I don't even know how to put words to it past that, honestly.
No, I mean, I think I understand that. I mean, because losing a friend in that way, and then feeling the way you felt, everything is in doubt, right? Like, you don't know how anybody's doing. You ain't put eyes on anybody. You haven't done X, Y, and Z. So everything is kind of in doubt. So when you came down here and you see I'm still fucking off, and I'm good, and we go out that night and we kick it like we normally do in a way that we like to do from time to time, and everything is good. Like, you want to know that people are good. You can't make sure everybody's cool, but you want to make sure that your people are cool. And I think just coming down here, kicking it, get from the space that you're in, that was that was the space that someone passed away in that you love. Getting away from that, coming down here, and we out here with the energy of having a good time, feeling good, being laid back, chilling, kind of like just nothing serious.
Right.
Nothing serious. Like, there's nothing serious about being here for us. We just doing what we usually do. I think there's a relief in that. I think that's why a lot of people, like, after someone's funeral, they go to somebody's house and eat and talk and laugh and do these things, because now you see everybody that you care about, or most of them anyway, that you care about, are doing good. They're feeling good. We're laughing. We're talking. Now we can shake that off.
Right. Yeah. That's like the first step in that process.
Yeah. I mean, but it's always, look, man, this is why I got off the phone, because you still got that number in your phone.
Yeah.
And there's going to be one day you're scrolling through that shit and you see the name and you're like, God damn.
Dog, it happens more than that. Like Facebook memories,
yeah,
birthday flags, all of that.
And fucking fuck you, Facebook, for that shit. Don't block me, but because y'all be putting people in jail. But that shit, I have a cousin that passed away 10 years ago, probably now. And every fucking year it's like, hey, you got a memory with Billy.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, dog. Like, I just posted his fucking birthday a couple of weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people was like, oh, what up? And I know at the time I posted it, he probably couldn't see him anymore. Yeah. I knew that though. And the world doesn't. So it was one of them, like, he's still here and he gonna be here no matter what. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna act like he not. And after this trip, I feel like I really became a better communicator with a lot of adults, because I learned that we weren't talking to each other. I really did. Right. People that I'd known 20 years, we had conversations that we was like, how come we ain't never talk about this shit 20 fucking years ago? Oh, because, he was like, I got it. And, So for real, moral of the story that I learned, like, don't wait. Like, if there's some wall there, be like, look, we ain't talked about it because of such and such, but I think this is a me and you thing.
Yeah.
People really need to learn to do that shit more because, especially black men, we not used to that shit. We not.
And that's one thing, like you were talking about how people act at funerals and conversations that happen afterwards. Bro, I remember going to my grandfather's funeral. I don't know, goddamn, no, like shit. Probably 20 years ago. No, goddamn, like 25, 30 years ago. And I'm looking around the room and my dad's not crying. And, you know, both of my dad's brothers aren't crying. And I'm looking at, like, at their dad's funeral. Now, keep in mind, they didn't have the best relationship with their father, my grandfather. But for me, I done seen the guy enough times. I'm like, oh shit, I'm here crying and shit that I'm not gonna see this guy anymore. But they didn't. It was like stone faced, when can this shit be over with type of shit, because they had a different relationship with him, right? So I'm like, god damn. So seeing that, I thought that that's just the way that black men did funeral shit. Like, we just sit here and we get through the motions and we don't cry and we understand that somebody passed away and that's just how we do it. Until I got older and I was like, you know, y'all got different traumas than I had. Like, y'all share different traumas than I don't know anything about growing up in an orphanage in New York. I have no idea what that's like. Mm-hmm. So y'all's traumas and things that you have that deal with him, I'm not gonna uphold that. That's on y'all. I'm gonna be emotional,
right,
when I feel like it.
But okay, on that same token, like, I've been, like, when my grandmother passed, I want to say at least 2 of my cousins weren't, and we loved her to death. They broke later, you know. Like, you can't, you know, some people are just that way. Like, that part of your brain that's like, don't do this in front of people, will stop you from reacting for a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
look, man, I've probably never broken down the way I broke down at my cousin Billy's funeral, because he was my older cousin, but I spent so much time with him, and it was just like he was basically like a big brother of mine. So much time spent together, all that shit. So I go to the funeral. Now I'm cool at first, and then we go to the burial site, to the cemetery, and I fucking lose it. And I got we're friends, we're family, but we're not. She's like a play cousin of mine, basically. Mm-hmm. And I gotta walk away from everybody. She runs over, and let me tell you something. The running over to hug somebody, especially if you're a man and the person running over to you to hug you and console you as a woman, that shit don't help.
It kind of makes it worse.
It makes it fucking worse.
It makes it so much fucking worse.
To hug me with tears in your eyes, talking about it's okay and shit.
The thing is, bro, it's such a weird thing that happens in that moment, because I'm like, I know you mean well. And I know you coming over here to, like, you know, do the thing. But you giving me that, I'm about to go off too. We gonna need a third.
And how'd you start running in slow motion, bitch? Like, don't you with that long dress on.
The grieve run.
Run over here to hug me.
The grieve run, boy.
The grieve run. I don't like it. Leave me alone. I wanted to cry behind this tombstone alone. Here you come running after me and shit.
I was just fine over here sniffling.
Yes.
And here your ass come with the.
I don't need it. I don't need it.
And, you just made me think about, like, when I was talking about your voice and my homeboys' voices. My father passed away January 30th, 2002 or 3. Do you know when I broke over that? Last year. Last year, I was watching a Christmas tape. Like, I found a VHS tape, and I went and got it put on a disc so that we could keep it. And started it up or whatever. And I remembered the video, like, kinda, you know?
Yeah.
And there was a part I always fast forward through, which was the beginning. Camcorders had like just came out, so my dad was just filming every fucking thing, and he was downstairs filming just the tree at night. And I remember us watching it back, going, "What the hell was you doing down here for 20 minutes?" Right? And he was just filming the tree before the presents, and then after he was making like a thing. But in the video, while it's like dead silent, because I just turned it on and was doing some other shit, he starts singing The Night Before Christmas. Or reciting it, and I didn't know that was there.
Yeah, that will fuck me up.
I hadn't heard his voice. I was in my kitchen. You feel me? Went off, lost it. So maybe it's I think it's an auditory thing for me.
No, I think that is. I mean, I
Maybe.
think that's what it is for everyone. Like seeing somebody, that's sad, right? Like watching an old video of somebody that you lost. Perfect example. I'm sorry for revealing this if you're listening, but it just kind of, I'm not going to say your name, but it just goes with what we're saying. I know someone that lost their father, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they look at pictures, and I've seen them look at pictures or show me pictures of their father, they're fine. Oh, this is my dad when he was, doing this. This is my dad when he was doing that. Oh, look at him. It's happy. It's happy. But they don't have or have not deleted voicemails.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they go back and listen to them or not. I haven't gotten like in that much into their business, but the voicemails they have, they keep, because I think it's something like, and I have voicemails I have my aunt that passed away 2 years ago this May. She was the patriarch, right? Like she was the motherfucker. Don't play with Aunt B.
That's Big Mama.
I still got a couple of voicemails because most of her voicemails are on accidents. You know how old people are. Hello, baby. Hello. Damn it, Marcus, is this the like you got me on this voice thing again? Like, so it's basically her cursing me out, which is not different from most women that leave voicemails. But this person in particular I'm talking to, they have voicemails of their father, and one day I looked at their phone and I'm like, damn, you got like 17 joints in your, or it's like 18 or whatever it was, like on your voicemail shit. And it was like, oh yeah, like those are all my dad. And I'm making up these numbers just so trying to keep the innocent.
Gotcha.
But I was like, damn, that's wild. But she's like, yeah, these are, damn. Well, I said she says they're all from my dad, and I don't want to, get rid of them. And I'm sure there's a reason as to why. And like that's the voice, and the voice is something like seeing some people being happy. It's cool seeing people being happy around Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever, but hearing that person that you lost, that was, one of the loves of your lives, that's different. Like, that's different. It's like the sense of smell, that's, to me, that's just as close. Like I still go back when somebody passes by me wearing some kind of jasmine, whatever shit. And it reminds me of like my fucking first girlfriend I had in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I still want her fat ass, but
I felt like, how when you like used to load a picture on AOL and it would like do this. You can see that bitch in your brain. Like I was like, God damn.
I'm joking. This is an entertainment podcast.
That's right.
She's very slimming.
Slimming.
But I think somebody's voice is different. Let me ask you a question. Are you done? I don't want to.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So you said Glenn had a son that he took under his own wing.
Yes, and I mean, I'm not going to get all into
I don't want to get in nobody's business.
Yeah.
We're not getting in it. We're not getting in their business.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's the fact.
Okay.
Like that's
it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it made me think about. We were talking about the other day at work. We were talking about Maury, right? And it was kind of
Povich?
funny how, huh?
Like
Yeah,
Povich?
Povich. Nigga,
Okay.
what is there another Maury? What other Maury is there?
After I
Nigga,
said
that Maury-
Povich, my brain said everything you saying, so let's proceed.
Yes, okay. That was the last Maury
That
that
was.
they made. That
Yeah.
was the last Maury they made. So, and we were just joking about how Maury went from being like a real talk show person,
Yeah.
investigative and shit, and then nigga after that first yellow envelope of "you are not the father" started popping, he was like, yo, you know what, I ain't doing that serious shit no more.
Oh, I know that was a short meeting. I bet they
I
were like,
wanted to rap like Common Sense, but I did $5 million.
That's it.
I ain't been rapping like Common Sense,
man,
so
I bet they got in. Well, we want to tell you about your numbers. Get envelopes, millions of them.
millions of them. So it made me think about, and we made some jokes, talking back and forth about it. And it made me think about, like, what if, and you saying that about, Glenn doing one of the best things a man can do. It made me think about, like, what if you had a baby with a woman, right? And then, little boy or girl, you pick it, I don't care. And then you find out, however you find out, she tells you, somebody else tells you, you get suspicious. 8 years later, that's not your kid. Now, I'm asking you to just pause for a second.
Yeah.
And think about the memories you have with your oldest boy, of him being a little baby, looking up at you with them big old brown eyes, and you're thinking, I gotta protect and I gotta fucking provide and I gotta do whatever, and you guys are running around and he's crawling to you and calling you daddy, and he's crawling up your leg, you got him on his first steps, he walking and shit. All these memories. He tells you, looking at your daddy, I love you, and all this other shit, right? And then you find out that nigga don't belong to you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I already knew where this was going, like in the middle of it. I mean, where else could it go and shit, right? But it made me think of two things: how I would have answered that shit with me and you talking like at 25, 30.
Oh yeah,
and me now. So you find out this ain't your kid. I think what a lot of men do is take that anger that the mother placed there and put it on the child, and you start taking it out on the kid. But unfortunately, I think the shit that they don't get is that doesn't take away any of those memories of you with that child. That's still your kid. You still nurtured that kid. So, yeah, I think wisdom gives you you know what? We gonna have to find you a new mom, but I love you still.
So you don't stay with a woman either?
Bitch gotta go. No, she gotta go.
She gotta go.
It's because she knew. I think she knew. Is that in the scenario? She knew the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, we gotta find you a new mom, but I got you.
You can't. The kid is going with the mom.
I said what I said.
Oh, okay. Wait, is this bitch dead? What's going on?
No. I ain't putting out no hit. I ain't got no money.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying
I'm just
no.
asking.
No, ain't no hits getting put out. But like, no, this is not. I'm still gonna want to be there for the boy. I don't think it'd be a situation where, a younger me would be like, man, fuck this kid. Then I couldn't. Because that would be foul. I'm like, well, your mama fucked up. Good luck.
Good luck, nigga.
Yeah.
I thought about that too.
Hope your real daddy cool, nigga.
Hope your real daddy is cool. It's crazy. I've thought about that though. I thought about that. Like, thank God my son like starts looking like me and shit, because he's mixed, right? So for a while I'm like, nigga, you light. But then during one of these summer camps, when he was with me, I dropped him off at the YMCA. And Midtown and shit. He started getting dark, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Midtown and dark, ain't it?
There's other things that I know that I'm not trying to say. There are things that make me know that he's mine. But I did have the thought of like, let's just say, like, because we know people that this happened to, right? So it's like, damn, like, how would I feel like if this kid that's calling me dad and like running towards me at the airport and jumping into my arms and so happy to see me? What if I find out like this is not my kid? Like, what would I do? And I think I would do with the same sentiment. Like, fuck, I hate the fact that you're not genetically mine, but
it becomes one of them. It is what it is. It's like, am I just gonna abandon this kid?
Yeah, you look at me as dad. You call me dad. I'm your dad. Like, that's it.
That's it.
So, I mean, it would suck, and I would fucking hate that. Now I gotta go get another bitch pregnant. But
damn, now you gotta go fuck Raw.
Now I gotta go fuck Raw again.
Poe Marcus. Damn.
God damn.
Such a task.
But yeah, it made me think about that shit.
Yeah,
we're at 55.
Yep.
Let's see.
We're gonna end it on some happy shit. We're gonna do it for Glenn.
Well, no, we ain't. We'll see.
What you got?
Lance Ruskin. Mm-hmm. I got Perception written down here, but I don't know why I wrote that. It could have been in the middle of the night.
I got
Harry
Jonathan
Belafonte.
Majors.
Bless up. You know, okay. We're past Easter, but we haven't potted in a while, and I wrote this down. Palm Sunday is weird as fuck to me, and I'm Catholic.
I was about to, okay. You just took it out. I was about to go, but you Catholic, so go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a staple.
It is a staple.
Okay.
I mean, so are Easter eggs and whatever the fuck.
They stupid twos. Okay.
As much as eggs are nowadays, y'all out there boiling them hoes and throwing them in the grass. God damn. That's wild shit.
It's $300 worth of eggs in this nigga yard. I'm about to. They got bread. But go ahead.
Don't even lay eggs that big.
It was that Cadbury bunny doing that buck shit on the commercial, and then we got fucked up. I didn't know what rabbits did. I thought that was a regular ass rabbit.
Yeah, there ain't no cream in that egg. You biting that egg, it's
a heroin rabbit.
It's gonna bust in your mouth. You biting that egg.
I always hated Cadbury eggs. Like, hey, that's the tell. Hey, at church you give girl, hey, you want a Cadbury egg? They're like, oh yeah, and watch see if they bite it, and they're like, we'll see you after.
Yeah, like if they bite it and there's no reaction, and they're like swimwear.
Oh,
if they bite it and they like eat it.
If they bite it and they like ooze out and they like ooh and like catch it,
they catch it on the chin and put it back in their
mouth.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Going to church
Happy
every
Easter,
week,
baby. Happy Easter.
Palmer Sunday.
The resurrection.
He is risen.
I just thought I was in Target Palm Sunday, and I'm walking around, and I'm not, I'm out of my business, and I look up and I just see this whole family, people walk by me with these black ass crosses on their forehead, and I'm like, y'all look crazy. Like y'all did like if I didn't know why y'all had them ashy ass crosses on your head, I would call the fucking police on y'all. Like, why are we doing that still?
It honestly, it's if enough people are doing it, they don't call it a cult,
bruh.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you, man, but
like,
that shit look wild.
I mean, when Easter comes around, I know people get like real religious, and then like but because I got in trouble on stage because I was like, what did Jesus really do for us? And somebody's like, he died for our sins, and I was like, yeah, for like 3 days, and that lady was mad, boy, because I'm like, dude, we here to have jokes, you know what I'm saying? Right, like don't know. I died for you. You was back playing fucking. You was back at the crib 3 days later.
They went there looking. He ain't even in here. That nigga snuck out. He wasn't dead. He faked that shit. Jesus faked his own assassination.
it just waited to put him somewhere.
They rolled that rock in front of that cave.
He ran out the back door. Oh
no, he's not here.
Oh shit.
Jesus is in witness protection.
It was an elaborate ruse.
It was an elaborate ruse.
That's all it was. Oh shit.
Nigga arisen 3 days later. Nigga paid that nigga off. Stab me, but not too deep, nigga. Like,
oh my god.
Okay, enough is enough.
It's a fucking scream. You're getting woozy here.
Yo, that shit is yo. All right,
All right, y'all. Hey,
I'm sorry, Jesus.
I know, right?
Don Lemon
shit.
and Tucker Carlson fired on the first day, or same day, not the first day, the same day.
I think that's beautiful.
Why do you think it's beautiful?
I don't know. It just seemed like they couldn't just fire Tucker. They had to balance it out like swirl ice cream.
Yo, yeah,
That's all it was.
I thought it was. It may have been a coincidence because they both have reasons that they fired them. Not saying those reasons are good ones, but you fired the two most polarizing people on both on Fox News. Tucker Carlson runs that shit.
Yeah,
You fired. CNN, Don Lemon, he don't run it, but he is like the most polarizing person on CNN.
right.
You fired. And I thought it was weird that they did it on like the same day.
I don't believe shit from either camp, so I
The
really
CNN
feel like
call Fox and like, hey yo, let's make a pact real quick.
how else would it be that way? Like, I mean, there's certain things that you can go, it's a coincidence, but those two big firings on the same day, I don't buy it. It just
On
comes
a Tuesday?
On a
Going up on a Tuesday?
They let them work the whole day Monday like it was regular. It's gonna be a good week.
That's just weird to me. Like I could go into the conspiracy theorists in my mind, but I'm not gonna do that because we are out of time. But yeah, I just thought it was strange. Maybe when there's more information, I have more to say. But I just thought that was really weird. And
It was
more
weird.
is it being Wednesday, and on Wednesday they said so nigga get fired on Tuesday. This happened to both of them, not just Tucker Carlson, but also Don Lemon.
Mm-hmm.
On Wednesday, they said Tucker Carlson seen out for the first time since he's been fired. Bitch, it's been a day.
I'm like, who was looking for him before he got fired out?
It was yesterday that I got fired, and now today I happen to go to Kroger.
He might have needed some shit, after getting fired. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my bad. He up in there. I'm guessing he's in D.C. area. He went to Harris Teeter, nigga.
Harris
But
Teeter
whatever.
for sure. Tucker Carlson, yeah.
He definitely went to Harris Teeter.
Oh shit. Hey, next time we get back in here, we're gonna talk about this Jonathan Majors thing. It's still ongoing.
Yeah.
Because that's interesting to me. Very, very
That's a
interesting.
conversation.
Yes, we ain't got time to paraphrase that one. So we gonna get up out of here, man. 151, and we are back. We ain't going nowhere. Those of you that are looking for me, I'm only out here in Cali for a week. I have a show on May 2nd. It's Comedy for a Cure. Jamie Kennedy is headlining it. It's gonna be an amazing show. It's for a great cause at the Brea Improv. Doors at 6, 7:30. Go online, get tickets. The links are on my page. And I'm filming for Veteran Television tomorrow. That's gonna be its own animal. And I'm excited about it. There's no tickets to that one. I think there are. Y'all can go to that one too if you want to. That link is also on my page, and it's not too late. That lineup is stupid, and it is for and by the military. So please check us out.
For and by the military. That's dope.
Yep. So we back.
Man, I got nothing.
Hopefully y'all got the update on everything. If you got more questions, then fucking ask, and we good.
Take us out, Marcus. All right. Thank you guys for listening to Illegal Opinions podcast. People that don't like podcasts. Coming at you every goddamn Sunday on your favorite streaming service. Well, we getting back to every goddamn Sunday on your favorite streaming services. Yeah, we working it out.
We getting it there. We back. We back.
We start discussing doing 2 a week. We'll see what happens. We might have some personnel changes. We'll see what happens. But thank you for fucking with us. I know. We know. But life happens, and you gotta give people their grace and their time to take care of themselves and to take care of their people and to take care of you. And we love you. We bite, right? Every goddamn Sunday. Favorite streaming services. Go tell a friend to get things spun back up. We love you. Hope you had a good weekend. Be safe. Good love. Peace.